Welcome to Earth and Sky Yoga. For today's daily practice, find a comfortable position. We're going to be sitting upright. You can be kneeling or sitting in easy pose or even sitting in a chair. We're going to take a few moments to drop in to our internal landscape before we begin moving. So when you're ready, placing the palms face down on the knees or the thighs, breathing in through the nose, and as you exhale, relaxing the shoulders and maybe closing the eyes. Turning our attention inward. As we breathe in, feeling our belly expand, our chest expand. And as we exhale, feeling the belly and chest fall closer to the spine. Taking deep inhales through the nose, feeling the air pass through the nostrils into the belly. And as you exhale, feel that warm air exit through your nostrils. Noticing any thoughts that arise in this space. Noticing any physical sensations in the body we're showing up with today. Without judgment, just noticing where we are before we begin. Use an exhale to bring the palms of the hands together. Inhale to bring those palms to the chest. Thanking yourself for showing up and feeling ready to begin. We're going to start today's practice on our backs, so find your way. Bending your knees and hugging them into the chest, we're just going to take a few rocks back and forth to massage the low back. Hug the right knee into the chest, extending the left leg out long, toes flexed and the heel is hovered. Move that right knee towards the midline and away from the body. There's an option here to keep that left leg straight, or we can bend the knee, placing the sole of the foot on the ground. Whatever variation you've taken here, we're going to grab the outer edge of the right foot with the right hand and kick the sole of the foot towards the ceiling. So we're in a half happy baby, and we can take any movements here, rocking back and forth, maybe playing with straightening that right leg. Taking deep breaths into the belly to signal to our body that this stretch is safe. Cross the right ankle over the left thigh for a figure 4. Pick up the left shin so that it's parallel to the ceiling, and let's grab behind the left leg. Squeezing that left leg into the chest for a deeper stretch. Our left leg can be bent here, or we can kick the foot to the ceiling. Let's use an exhale to squeeze a little more. And then slowly releasing the left foot down to the mat, crossing your right leg completely over to the left, and then dropping those knees towards the left side of the mat, and maybe looking towards the right. We can take a T shape with the arms, or bend the elbows for goddess. If this pose is too deep of a stretch for you, you can also just stack the knees. Inhale to come back to center, uncrossing the legs and hugging the left knee into the chest now. Right leg is extended. We'll just take a few movements here. And when you're ready, bending the right knee and planting that sole of the foot on the mat, taking the left hand to the outer edge of the left foot and kicking that foot to the ceiling. Taking half happy baby on the left side, maybe placing the right hand on the belly and just feeling into those deep breaths as we take any micro movements here that feel good. Cross that left ankle over the right, grabbing behind the right thigh, coming into figure 4. Keeping that right knee bent or straightening the leg is up to you. Exhale to hug that leg into the chest for a deeper stretch. Take one more last squeeze before dropping that left foot on the mat, crossing the left leg over entirely and dropping those knees towards the right side. Taking any variation with the arms, maybe gazing over to the left. So important in these poses to have those deep belly breaths, because this calms our nervous system and lets our body know that it's safe to practice, it's safe to stretch deeper. When you're ready, coming back to center. And we're just going to do a few windshield wipers, so dropping the knees towards one side, and then the other should feel really good for the low back. And then bringing the knees into the chest, we're just going to take a few rolls on the spine, grabbing behind the thighs, rocking forward and back onto the length of the spine until you're ready to come to a seated position. And once we're there, we'll take a few neck rolls, so dropping the right ear to the right shoulder, exhaling as we roll the neck forward, and inhaling as we roll the neck back. So important to get into a habit of daily neck care, especially if you look at your phone a lot or a screen and you have text neck. And once your head is back, reversing the circle. Exhaling to circle forward and inhaling to circle back. Making sure we are sitting up nice and tall as we roll the neck. And then we'll inhale to center, placing the palms face down on the mat beside us. Inhale to reach the hands up overhead, and then exhale to lower them back down. Let's do a few more, inhaling up and exhaling down. The next time we inhale up, pause there, interlacing the hands and placing the palms of the hands on the back of the neck, thumbs face down. Exhale to round forward, elbows come together. Inhaling to open and exhaling to round the spine, dropping the head. Inhale to open up the arms and exhale to come through to a tabletop. Making sure the hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. We'll start with a cat-cow, so inhale as you drop the belly, open the chest and look up. And then exhale as you round the spine, dropping neck and tailbone. Keep going at your own pace here, trying to fill each breath with a complete movement. And if there's any movements here that feel intuitive in the body, maybe moving more in a circle, maybe bumping the hips towards one side and the other, go ahead and take that exploration. And then when you're ready, come to stillness. We're going to tuck the toes under and exhale as we lift the knees off the ground, pushing away from the mat. Shoulder blades are separated, our gaze is down. Breathe here as you engage the core towards the spine. We're going to hold for 3, 2, on the 1, drop the knees, untuck the toes, and inhale. Exhale, send it back for a child's pose. Walk the hands to the right side of the mat. Maybe the left hand comes on top of the right. And breathe into that left side body. Once you feel satisfied with this side, we'll go ahead and walk the hands over to the left. And then inhaling back to center, we'll push ourselves up back to a tabletop position and extend the right leg out long, curling the toes under on the mat and just rocking forward and back. Feeling that stretch in the back of the leg. When you're ready, come to center and lift that right leg off the mat for cat's tail, flexing those toes towards the ground, engaging the glutes and the thighs. We'll inhale here. As you exhale, lower the right leg, pivoting the left foot off of the mat and stacking left hip on top of the right for a side plank. Inhaling as you circle that left arm up to the sky. And there's an option to stay here, or you can lift that left leg off the ground Exhale to lower that foot if it's lifted, and then inhale to reach that left arm up and overhead, feeling that great side stretch in the left side body. Inhale here, and then exhale, come back through to a tabletop position, this time curling the left toes under and rocking forward and back. We'll inhale to come to center, and then exhale to lift that left foot off the ground. Trying to keep the hips level here, so just explore with whatever movements make this pose more accessible for you. We'll inhale here, and then exhale to lower that foot, shifting the right foot off the mat, stacking the hips, and opening that right arm towards the sky. Inhale here, and then exhale, lift that left foot off the ground. Exhale to lower, and then inhale to reach that right arm up and over. And when you're ready, coming back through to a tabletop position. Curl the toes under and lift the hips up for downward facing dog. Taking any movements here, like walking the dog, bending one knee and then the other. And then when you're ready, finding some stillness in your downward facing dog. A few housekeeping tips in downward dog. Make sure your fingertips are spread super wide and all points of the palm is on the mat. This is going to protect the wrists. So when you're ready, use an inhale to lift the right leg, three-legged dog. Pausing here before shifting that foot forward and stepping through to a low lunge, lowering the left knee and inhaling the arms up towards the sky. We'll pause here, engaging the core, checking your alignment, knees over the ankle. And then interlace those hands up above the head, flipping the palms towards the sky, inhaling for a slight back bend. Exhale to fold forward, rounding the spine and straightening that right leg. Fingertips come to the mat. And then inhale to bend into that front leg, planting the right hand down, bringing that left hand to the sky for a twisted low lunge. Pressing firm into that front foot, we're going to inhale here and then exhale to lift the torso. Right hand is reached out behind us, left arm is in front for a revolved low lunge, maybe gazing back at that thumb. We'll exhale to lower that right arm down, inhale the left arm up overhead, exalted low lunge, maybe wrapping that right arm behind the back. Exhale to cartwheel the hands back down on the mat and curl the left toes under, lifting the left knee for a high lunge. Inhale the arms up overhead. Again, finding that stability, engaging the core and squeezing the thighs to the midline. We'll inhale to open up the arms into a big T and then exhale, hands to heart. Inhale here, and then exhale, push those hands away, straightening the arms, kicking off on those back toes. Imagine we're pushing into a wall here. On our next inhale, bringing the arms up overhead, and exhale to rain them down, stepping the back foot to meet the front, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift, straight back, And then exhale to fold down. Inhale to reach the arms up overhead, big stretch. And then exhale, hands to heart, finding a moment to connect with the breath, the body as we're standing. And when you're ready, inhale, reach overhead. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift, hands on the shins. And then exhale to plant the palms down, step back to a plank or half plank. Pausing here before shifting forward with an exhale, lowering down, and an inhale to lift the chest for cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Maybe using an inhale and an audible exhale to clear some energy. Inhale this time, the left leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale to shift it forward before stepping it through, lowering that back knee and rising up to a crescent low lunge. Interlacing the hands and flipping the palms towards the sky. Let's breathe in as we take a slight back bend, and exhale as we round forward, releasing hands to mat, straightening that left leg, and we bring the head towards the knee. Inhale to shift forward, bending that knee, right arm plants down, this time left arm to the sky, twisted low lunge. You know where we're going next. Firm in that front leg, engage the thighs, and inhale to lift the torso, revolved low lunge. Such an engaging pose. Exhale to lower that left hand and inhale the right arm up overhead. And then exhale to cartwheel the hands down towards the mat, lifting that right knee off the ground and inhaling for a high crescent lunge. Inhale to open up the arms into a big T shape, opening up the chest here. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale here before exhaling to push away with the hands, kicking off with the right toes. Imagine you're really pushing a wall away. Inhale to crescent lunge. Exhale, step forward, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale, hands towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Breathe here. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, planting the palms down. Step or hop back to plank or half plank. Pause here. We're going to shift our weight over to the right, stacking the hips, bringing the left arm towards the sky for a side plank. There's always an option here to lower that right knee. Inhale to reach, exhale to come through to center, switching sides. Inhale to reach, and then exhale to come back to center. Last plank, pause here, and then exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. We're going to walk our hands out, maybe a foot in front of the shoulders, pressing the pelvis into the mat. Inhale to straighten the arms, lifting the chest for this wide cobra. Bending the left elbow, peek over the right shoulder. And then inhaling back to center with a breath in, exhaling to bend the right elbow, peeking over the left shoulder. Last breath in this wide cobra, and then exhale as you lower those elbows down on the mat, pressing the pelvis into the mat, really engaging those glutes, and maybe lifting the feet off the mat. If this is comfortable for you, maybe we lift the hands, and then maybe we bring those hands back behind you for locust. Gazing at the ground, really pushing into the mat with the hips. We'll inhale here, and then exhale, place the hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale to lift to an upward facing dog, and then exhale to sit back into child's pose. Maybe you give yourself a little self-love here by rocking the head back and forth, massaging the forehead. And when you're ready, we will sit up. Inhale to stretch those arms up overhead. And then exhale, rain them down, kicking those feet out in front of us. We're coming into a staff pose, so legs are out long. And before we reach into our staff, I like to create a little integrity in the spine. So placing the palms face down on the mat, let's roll our shoulders back. Lift the chest, inhale to reach up towards the sky, and then exhale to hinge from the waist, reaching for whatever is available to you. We are maintaining a straight spine here. Using an exhale to go further into the stretch if your body has allowed for more space. And then finally using an exhale to completely fold into this pose, allowing your head to drop, your shoulders to separate. And we'll hold in this pose for a few breaths, so it's up to you to bring those deep breaths. If you've reached past a point to where it's hard for you to take a deep breath, that might just be a sign to back off a little bit. Allow your body to feel safe. Great, and when you're ready, we will slowly roll back up, vertebrae by vertebrae, rolling the shoulders back and lifting the head. Find your way to lay on your back for Shavasana. Knees can be bent, feet wider than the mat, with the knees falling in towards the middle. You could take butterfly, or you can just have the legs out long. And once you get there, again, we'll tap into that inner landscape, just like we did in the beginning of the practice. Noticing any points of tension in the body. Noticing the breath and the quality of breath, whether it's shallow or deep. Completely surrendering to all the points of your body that touch the ground. Feeling gravity completely melt your weight, melt your worries, melt your tensions, so that you can just be here for the next minute. And when you're ready to come out of Shavasana today, do so slowly by deepening the breath, inviting gentle movement into the body. Maybe you roll onto one side. And with the eyes closed, come through to a seated position. Inhaling the hands to heart, I would like to thank you for joining for our daily practice. I hope to see you again, and until next time, be well.